Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afker, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of your divine uniqueness. So I'm really glad to connect with you here, whether live or on the replay. And also very, very happy that Natasha, let me, the last name,
Stojanovic. Yes.
Stojanovic, yeah, thank you. And so she's back on the show. This is our second call with her. Our first call, I think it was last year during the autumn, and really it was very, how to say, very profound, very exceptional, and I really loved the experience that we had, the channeling, the light language that she channeled for us. It was really, really profound, and it was one of the one of the best light language I experienced. And also the how to say, the message and the wisdom that she brings really reminds us of our truth, of our true power and our authentic self, and how we can embody that and bring that into our 3D world to benefit ourselves, create our heart desires, and also contribute into the global awakening, because the healing and the shift that we create within ourselves is also serving others at the same time, even though sometimes we are not aware of that. And today I'm very excited because it will be about a subject that is very important: conscious creation in times of great change. And so this is what we are experiencing now. Like, many of us are experiencing so many changes in our daily life, and also we feel many things happening around the world and that are unknown, and we don't know how it will unfold. And also Natasha will be sharing her own personal experiences that I find very inspiring and related to that subject, that can really help us to understand how we can create and follow our soul calling and create our desires, heart desires, even though like things seems to be unknown, or the path seems to be unfamiliar to us, and how we can still leap forward in what we are creating. So yeah, very excited about that. And also we'll have a Q&A where you can ask Natasha your questions. And for that, if you are on Zoom, you can raise your hand by pressing reactions, then raise hand. And if you are on the phone, you can press *9. And also you can type your questions on the chat boxes, whether on Zoom or on YouTube. And for those of you who are new to Natasha, I would like to share with you a little bit about her. So Natasha is an intuitive transformational coach, activator of purposeful expression and multidimensional channel, working with the frequencies of ocean light. She empowers heart-centered leaders, healers, way showers, and change makers to embody their true authentic self, show up fully in divine service, and live their highest heart-aligned life with vibrancy, flow, and grace. Natasha believes that your highest heart's desires, our vibrancy, and your sacred divine service are inseparable, and that one leads to the other. And so with that, Natasha, welcome back to the show. We're happy to have you with us today.
Oh, thank you, Monsef. I'm so happy to be back, and thank you for that beautiful introduction.
Wonderful. So very excited. And maybe I will ask you again, so this time, if you can share a little bit about the service that you are offering and the healing work. So for those of our audience who are new to you, can learn more about what you are sharing.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, I tend to work with those who are heart-centered. Usually it's healers or parents or people that are kind of realizing, hey, I want to live from that heart-centered place, from unconditional love, and I want to also contribute to the greater whole. And what I do is I help them embody really their true essence, that truth of who we really are. And so they can really, you said that beautifully in the introduction, that we can live that really in daily life, that we can bring that into the physical experience. And maybe to give you a little bit of background, everybody, about ocean light codes and ocean light language that I'm a channel for. I had a love for the ocean since I was really a little child, but I lived in Switzerland. And I'm telling that story because it really has to do with what we are talking about today. And so I was living in that landlocked country and living from holiday to holiday. And I didn't know why, but I had this absolute love for whales, dolphins, and the ocean. And so, long story short about my childhood is that when I finished university, I decided to go to the Red Sea and to become a diving instructor and work as a diving instructor. Even though I had great job offers, but I always knew I wanted to follow that. And so during that time, I realized that there was so much healing going on in the ocean, in the sea, with people that I was guiding. And I really wanted to learn more. And during these 3 years, I've also been freediving. So I had the honor to be on the team, so I could go on a freediving championship. And there, through that training, I was also very much connected to breath work and mind-body healing and all these things. I got into that. And so when I got back from the Red Sea to Switzerland, I wanted to learn more. And I learned many healing modalities and NLP and this and that. And I became a leadership and team development coach, always with that in mind, that I want to connect people back to the ocean. And I didn't know why, I didn't know how. And in that journey, like 10 years after, into that journey of being a coach in the corporate world, what happened is that my life changed within 5 single days. Like from being in a stable relationship, having a beautiful apartment overlooking the lake, having 3 months holiday, a year spending it by the sea, just like everything broke apart. For the first time in my life, I experienced something like depression. And I had to go through that healing. And as I was going through that healing, I told that story last time, but I think it's a beautiful story. I remember sitting by the lake and saying, like, universe, I don't want to go on like this. Now send me my master. I want to learn. And I was always imagining this master with a long white beard, like a Tai Chi or Qigong master who would teach me the secrets of life. And 2 months into that, I discovered I was pregnant. And so my master had arrived, and that was my son, who is still to today, he's like 11 years old soon, in a month. And he's still today my greatest teacher, who's always bringing me back to unconditional love. And on that journey of becoming a single mother, and like I realized when I knew I was pregnant, I realized I would be single from day one, a single mom. And so I went through quite a deep healing journey, as you can imagine, with all of these things happening. And I remember when he was 3 years old, I was really like, I had no energy left. I was sick a lot. I was very close to burning out. And as I engaged in that healing journey for myself, and I realized I had to be there for myself first, because otherwise I can't even be a mom for my kid. I remember I was guided to watch something on the internet, and I was searching for healing or something with healing. Even though I was a healer and everything, I knew there's more, there's something I'm not getting. And I remember how I got guided to click on a YouTube video about a woman called Lisa Rankin. She's a doctor. And she told a story how she was like having her patients, and then she moved to a place where she was serving only people who had a lot of money, who had a perfectly healthy lifestyle, and they were just as sick as anybody else she was serving before. And she said, and there she started asking them, if you were your own doctor, what would you prescribe yourself? And the people would say things like, oh, I would finally get divorced. Or I would I would take that art class that I don't dare to do because I think I'm not good enough. Or they would say things like, I would travel the world. And then she talked about that we all have an inner pilot light. And I remember sitting there and tears running down my face, and just, I couldn't stop crying because I realized that throughout all these years, since I was back from the Red Sea, I had this wish to go back to the sea and to work more with the sea and to bring people to the sea and to create that healing space. But I was still landlocked in Switzerland. And I didn't follow my own guiding light, my own pilot light, as she calls it. So my own heart. And that was a turning point when I decided that's it. No matter how, I will follow that journey. And I will follow my heart again. With a child, I will do this. And that's when my real healing started coming on. So my life started shifting. I started being more healthy, more vibrant. And you know what? Honestly, it didn't go like this. The first time I traveled for 2 weeks, I got sick again. But the year later, I traveled for 5 weeks. And the year later, I took a sabbatical of 6 months. And we traveled to beautiful places, including Hawaii and Australia, and I don't know where, with a 5-year-old, you know? And in that journey, on that journey of really living my dreams, my true heart's yearning, because that was a strong yearning. It was not just an idea. And as I was getting healthier, I was led into a spiritual awakening. And in that spiritual awakening, what happened is that I awakened to ocean light language. So for those of you who don't know what light language is, it is not something we can actually explain very well. It's a transmission of frequency, light, sound, and information. But what I meant with we cannot explain it is it's not something we can understand with our minds. And it really is ocean light language, which is something where, again, I had to learn to own my truth, because it's not something that you will find anywhere on the internet. Like, there's not many people who get like, I speak ocean light language, right? We know Pleiadian, we know Arcturian, we know, like, you know, Atlantean or whatever it is, but ocean was new to me. But I had to trust that guidance. And there were so many mystical experiences and dreams and things that showed me that this was literally ocean light language. And what I found out later through scientific research is that today there's scientists that are bringing in that how do you say, like, kind of evidence that the water is like an interface to the quantum field. So water is like a portal, and we can access the quantum field. And what I'm doing when I'm bringing through the light language is actually, just as our hearts are portals, that's how the water in the ocean is a portal. And I'm diving through the portal of the ocean. And that's how I can receive that pure source light language that I bring through these frequencies. And they help people to really embody their truth, to activate their gifts, and also to embody their own, you know, soul calling, so that we can really live that in daily life. And it becomes something where we can step back into our frequency, into that full expression of who we are, that being, that divine uniqueness of who we are, literally. Yes. And so that's in a nutshell what I'm doing. And the story does go on, like with another leap that I took, but I don't know if you want me to go into that now, or if you have a question or something to add.
Yeah, first, thank you so much for sharing that part. And also, I remember, like, the ocean light language. It felt different, and also the energy of it. It was quite a profound experience the last time, and also for our audience, live or on replay. So we'll experience that again in after a little bit during this call. And yeah, I would love if also you can tell us like your new experiences and leaps that you had.
Okay, very much. Yes. So from where I was, where I started working in that field and sharing my truth. You remember I told you I had decided that I was going to follow my heart, but in that was that yearning that I want to live by the sea and to spend not only 1 or 2 months by the sea. I mean, only, I know it's a lot for many people, but for me, it's like where I belong. And the interesting thing is, from that decision until today, where I am actually here in Croatia, and I'm in this beautiful place just right by the sea, it took me 7 years to take that leap. And I took that leap just lately. And here's why. Partly, I had to go through all that healing. And what I told you, the awakening, the healing. And I also had other things to heal, like, there was relationships, there was forgiveness, there was many things to heal. And also I had a small child, and it's different when the kids are really small. But what I did now is that I took the leap, that I literally left everything behind. I left the country, I left the apartment, and I said, we're going. And wherever spirit leads us, and the first stop is Croatia, and then we'll see. And why did it take me 7 years? So one of the reasons I told you, the other thing I believe is divine timing. And so for every one of you, if you are somewhere taking a big leap, and it's really, I mean, it sounds like easy. Yeah, we left to Croatia, but, as a mother with an 11-year-old, to just close the door and to leave your apartment and to leave the country and to just go like, okay, wherever spirit takes us, it was quite a leap for me. And the turning point was actually when I noticed, oh my God, I'm talking about this for actually something around 20 years since I left the Red Sea, but very consciously for 7 years. And who do I want to be as a person? I want to be someone who's following her dreams. Who do I want to be as a leader? I'm embodying my medicine. I can't tell people you're here to follow your heart and then not follow mine fully. It just didn't work. I can't do this. I need to walk my talk. And we're not perfect as leaders or as way showers or as healers. We're all having our own stuff, but at least we're starting and we're embodying that which we teach. And then who do I want to be as a mother? I don't want my kid to learn that dreams are something we talk about, but never take action upon. And that was my turning point. When I came to that conscious realization, I was like, oh, no. And it took a while still, because then, and that's what happens with us, when we decide that we are going to do this, which our heart is yearning for such a long time, what comes up is our deepest fears, our unworthiness, feelings of not enoughness, whatever that is, our conditioning, it comes up. And for me, my greatest challenges were, on one hand, fear of what's going to happen. Of course, fear of the unknown. We all have it. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Will my kid be okay? Will he be safe? Will we make it? All of that. But the bigger fear was something I wasn't aware of. And that was fear of abandonment. And how does that come in? Many of us have that because we are afraid that if we truly follow our heart fully, our path, we'll be abandoned by our family and our friends. We will lose their love, right? We think it's fear of criticism, but it's not the criticism usually. They can criticize us. If we knew that they love us and that they're having our backs, no matter what we do, we wouldn't be afraid of criticism, right? So it's that underlying fear of abandonment. And when I realized that, and I could move through that, suddenly it all happened. It literally just happened in divine timing. And I knew deep inside, like, that's it, I'm leaving. There was no decision process. And that's something I wanna give you as well, is if you're having something like that, the decision, when you move through what you need to move through, the decision will be clear. There's no should I not, second guessing, doubting. It's like, oh, okay. It's in your heart, it's crystal clear, and off you go. And that's what happened with me. And so that's how I knew I have to close one door to open a new one. And I have to leave this place, because my excuse was always, I don't know where I'm going. And so since I don't know where my new home should be, I'd rather sit here and go on a holiday here and go on a holiday there, and, you know, like not really follow through with my dream. And you can translate that, everyone, into your own dreams, into your own calling, whether that's writing a book, whether that's going for travels, whether that is, you know, a new form of relationship, whether that's quitting your job and starting your body of work and bringing it into the world, whatever that is for you, right? So I always had the excuse like, well, I don't know where, so I'm not fully committed. I'll stay here and wait. And at some point I realized, no, that's not following my heart. My heart is saying leave and go to the sea, wherever it is. And so I did. And now I'm living in this beautiful place at the moment. The sea is like 20 steps in front of me. There's no cars in front. There's no street in front. It's really absolutely pristine and beautiful. And I'm enjoying it. And honestly, I'm still in the leap. It's like whatever comes from here. I said, wherever spirit takes us, we'll see how long we stay. Yes.
Wonderful. I love that. Your experience, your story, and also how you explained it, because when you mentioned about when it's the right time to take the decision to change something, maybe job or relationship or a house, it comes naturally. It's like you said, it's easy to take. There is a knowing within ourselves that it's time. And it's the same happened to me with my job. I think it took me 2 years or more to decide to leave. But when it was the timing, it was just very easy. And also because you talked about going through a healing period before leaving the country. Because what happened when we leap forward, it's like everything that we are used to, the way we create, the way we live, it changes, and it needs some grounding, some focus, and this comes also with maybe willingness, or maybe the passion that we have toward our path, or the trust that we have in where we are, like in the trust in our choice that really keeps us how to say, moving forward, even though everything seems unfamiliar or everything is unknown for us, because it can be sometimes very uncomfortable. And for you, as you made the change, did you still experience this maybe uncomforts about what is your next step, or what will you do next? Do you still have doubts sometimes?
That's a good question. You know, when I think the main part was before the decision was really clear. That was the main part. And what I did is, like, a year before I left, what came in was that the decision was almost there. And so I started decluttering my apartment. You know, I started throwing away things, giving away things, like really having a lighter space around me, physically decluttering. And another thing that I did a year ago, like last New Year, a year ago, right? So what I did is I created a vision board, but I drew it, like literally. So, you know, that helps bring the energy from my body and embody it. It's not just on the computer taking some nice pictures, which is also great, but the process of drawing showed me where I was fully aligned and where there was still something to do. That was really interesting. And then I went into envisioning daily. I was just connecting to that dream, to that vision, and not just in my head. And for everybody, that's a tool, whatever you wish. It's like an amazing tool that we go into that feeling that it's already done. So moving into my heart, envisioning me at the ocean, whatever that is for you, and then really feeling as if I'm already there, fully associated, fully there, what I smell, see, feel, hear, everything, and being grateful for it being done. And that's what I did. I incorporated that into my morning practice. And so these things helped me immensely, through that period, also later, because I believe that that was a big part of why I took the leap in the end, because I was creating the frequency match of what I wanted to experience. Right? So we are creating reality through the frequency of who we are and how we vibrate in the world. And so instead of going like, oh, I'm still here, or it's frustrating, I don't know where to go, or all of these things we tell ourselves when we try and figure things out, I moved into my heart and envisioned that daily. And I believe that that was one of the biggest things why I just could take the leap. And also, I was asking for baby steps. Like I would ask my heart, so what is the greatest contribution that I can do today? And praying to be showed the next step. So, and that's also a tool for everybody to really have a consistent practice of how you keep yourself in the frequency match of what we want to experience. So not bypassing if we don't feel good, not bypassing if we're sad or frustrated or anything, being present with that sadness, with that frustration. But in general, just having that consistent practice of what's the frequency that I need to be in order to have that which I want to experience. And the hardship, if you're asking, like when I was in the moment of moving, like I knew I did the decision and now you have to move, that was quite a tough time, because obviously it doesn't feel very light to go through all your stuff and have to declutter it all. And at the same time, I'm a mom, I'm homeschooling my kid, I have a business, it's like there's a lot going on. And so for me, it was nervous system regulation, taking conscious breaks, being in nature, grounding. I would like take a day off and say, I'm going fully to the mountains, and that's it. Just went for a hike, just to be in nature, just to ground, just to not think about these things, right? So that each of us needs to find out how much of that we need, but we do need that. And when we're in the process of whatever that is, it takes quite a lot of nervous system regulation. It takes grounding, it takes like taking breaks, it takes, sometimes it was breath work, sometimes it was self-healing. So whatever I needed, because otherwise the overwhelm is really quickly there, right? If we don't keep track of our self-care. And so, yes, that I had to really triple my self-care. And that's my advice for everybody who's in that. I have a few advices, but that is one, like triple your self-care. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it really makes a huge difference when we care more and more about ourselves, and we give time to ourselves to be in nature, or be or do something that really bring us back to our center and connect to our heart. And also about conscious creating during this time, because like the past several years, like it's been maybe overwhelming for many of us, and it feels like the changes, it becomes like the normal thing. I mean, everything was changing in the past, but it's more, how to say, it's more like loud, or we see more of that in our life. And also collectively, like there are people who are changing their jobs, there are people shifting relationships. We see also the economy, how is shifting. So it feels like things are constantly changing, and for me it feels like we are stepping into more highest level of mastery of conscious creation that is independent on what's going on around us. And instead of waiting for the circumstances to be what we think the right circumstances, it's more about moving forward independently. And I would love if you can tell us your perspective about that, and also how can we embody this mastery during constant change?
Beautiful, thank you. Yes, it is definitely changing faster and faster. It's just unbelievable, and we're in constant change, and we're going to stay in constant change for quite a while, I believe, for a few years. And so here's a few things. One I said already: triple your self-care. It's just simple. Everybody tells you, but it's really not optional anymore. We need to start taking care of ourselves, and to do that from a place of self-love. You know, it's not about the action you take. It's not about whether you're taking 10 minutes or 2 hours, because everybody needs something else. It's about tuning in and going like, okay, what do I need today? And how can I help myself? How can I love myself a little bit more? And I see people coming, you know, to me, and then they have, you know, they say, but I'm doing this and this and this and this, but it's so stressful, right? Because they need to do their meditation, and then do their movement, and then do this, and then do that. And that doesn't come from a flow state. So how do we incorporate flow? Is we really tune into our bodies. So it's really about being into our bodies, in our bodies. And then from that space, what do we need? Really loving ourselves and going, what is going to serve me best today? And do that, tune in from time to time. The other thing about conscious creation, it's very similar to that, is we need to take time for stillness so we can hear the whispers of our heart. Because there is no outside answer anymore. Things are changing so quickly. If you think about, even if it's not in your personal life, which I believe many of the listeners do have stuff in their personal lives that's shifting, because we're all connected, it's all one. But even if it's not, and you just see what's going on in the world, nothing that we have learned until now is something that we can extrapolate into the future, right? The banking system is falling apart, the educational system is falling apart, like all of that is shifting and changing and transmuting into the new. And so we need to find the answers within. And sure, there can be people who can help you find your answers within, just like me and other speakers here, or whoever you resonate with. But it's about learning to find our own inner highest guidance. And that happens through the heart. We tune into, through our heart, into our highest guidance, into our highest self, whatever name you use, your spirit team, your angels, your guides. And that brings me to number 3, ask for support. Ask for support. Ask for support from people, from your friends, from family, whoever you can get help with. Ask for support from a coach, from a mentor, but also ask for support from your angels, from your divine team. We all have our divine team. For me, it happens to be a lot of different beings, and some of them are whales and dolphins. For you, it might be something else you resonate with. It's all part of ourselves. So just ask for support. Call upon your angels and go like, hey, angels, I need you. Can you help me with this? And they will help you. Things shift. They really do. If we ask from the heart, we get the help always. I've never experienced that there was no help. I've experienced that we don't see the help in the first moment, but it's always there. And in hindsight, you go like, oh my God, thanks God this happened, because that was the perfect solution. And then what else do I have? The envisioning, I said, that's really the conscious creation. So it's like, okay, basis, regulating our nervous system. Then goes stillness, and tuning into our heart so we can find the answers within when we need an answer, asking for the next steps, having our daily practices of connecting, being in our body, grounding. And then the envisioning, what do I wish to experience? And then connect with that, just as I explained. And these, I think, are the main points. And then there's more, of course, because as you are raising your vibration, through being lovingly present with whatever shows up with you. And maybe I can talk just very quickly about that. Is that okay? Because raising vibration, I find, is usually, so people think that it's thinking positive. And raising vibration is not thinking positive. So it's also not just meditation or I don't know what. Raising vibration is coming from unconditional love. Having unconditional love be the place where we operate from, and that includes self-love. So on a day that I just wake up, I do things like meditation, or you can dance, do something that's fun, bring in some joy. That's also raising vibration. When I'm tired, raising vibration might be just as simple as going to take a nap, because I love myself enough that I will create some space, even if it's 10 minutes, that I can lay down. And raising vibration when I do not feel good is not making myself feel good, because then I'm in resistance to what is. It's releasing that resistance and going like, okay, and being lovingly present with myself and with these feelings that I'm having, not going into the story either. So it's not like, oh, this woman yesterday on the call, she was really unfriendly and how she attacked me and da-da-da-da-da. That will make it worse. That's not raising your vibration. But going into, okay, and I fully love you, Natasha. I love you. And I see how hurt you were. And I see how uncomfortable that was. And it's okay. And I'm here and I love you. And love yourself through that experience. And just feel that for you. And these feelings will shift. And that's how you raise vibration. Loving yourself when you don't feel good, and then doing something that feels even better. That would be an easy way to understand it.
I know that. Thank you so much, Natasha. And also one more question before the activation is how our desires and dreams are connected to our purpose, especially those, because sometimes we have desires they appear to be just related to us. It's not about maybe living our purpose, and then we may have some doubts and we don't give enough energy to that because we don't feel it's important. So I would love if you can talk about this connection.
Yes, thank you so much for that question, because this is so important, and it was the same for me. I thought for all these years, before I had this awakening with ocean light language, I thought like, well, but that's, how do I just go and be with whales and dolphins in the sea? This is just selfish. I'm not contributing. This is not purpose. What's my purpose then? And you see how that came together, right? Through me following that joy. And that's a very important thing, that joy and that passion and that true heart's desire. It led me to my purpose. And so our true heart's dreams and desires always are connected to our purpose. I've just heard yesterday a woman, she talked about, she wrote a book about joy, and she was so afraid of drawing, but she had this wish to draw, and she wouldn't dare through her own conditioning. And at some point she engaged in healing sessions, and I don't know what exactly, but in the end she managed to start drawing. And in her book she put drawings, and what happened is that now people are taking her drawings to create quilts and things and here and there. And it's just like, she never dreamt that her heart's desire to draw would have anything to do with contributing to the beauty in this world and to supporting other people and things like that. And so what are true heart's desires? Maybe that is important to say. It's when you tune in and you feel that yearning, and no matter what you do, it won't let you alone. It won't leave you. Like for me, the ocean, like I lived in Switzerland for 20 years and it was always there. It was always there. Ocean, whales, dolphins, right? And whenever I would try and suppress it, it will come up. these are true heart's desires. It's that yearning or that pulling. Sometimes you could feel this pull. It's pulling me in a direction. And we have to follow that because, it's there for a reason. And when we say like, oh, that can't be my purpose, we're coming from the head. We're coming from our mind, trying to figure out, but how should that ever lead to my purpose? We cannot figure it out. We can only follow the whispers of our heart and allow it to lead us, because the way it unfolds is something we cannot even imagine, because it's in the unknown, and you see the known is that which we did until now. So it's like we get the same results, right? But the unknown is limitless possibilities. And our brain cannot grasp it. So our heart is leading us. And I believe that spirit puts these desires and these yearnings and this pulling into us. So we follow it, because that's all is connected. We can't separate our true heart's desires from our purpose, because all is one. We can't separate from each other. We can't separate anything. So it's just why it's there. It's there for a reason. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
And
Thank
our
you.
vibrancy comes in as well, because when we follow our heart's desires, when we follow that yearning, we have passion. We can live our passion, our joy. And from that vibrancy, we've shifted our whole expression and our vibrancy and our vibration, I wanted to say. And we already are fulfilling our purpose, because we are happy and we're shining our light brightly out into the world. And who wants to can see it and, get inspired by it. And then other people get inspired following their dreams. And so that's already enough. You don't even need to look further. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really beautifully said. So thank you so much, Natasha. And also a reminder to our audience that later we'll have a Q&A and you can ask Natasha your questions. You can either type your questions on the chat boxes on Zoom or on YouTube. And also you can raise your hand by pressing reactions, then raise hand on Zoom. And so do you feel, is it the right time for the activation?
Yes, I believe so. Beautiful. So I'll just change that. Okay. Setting here. Can you hear me well like this?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Very clear.
Okay, everybody, I'd just love to say before we start that this is not something for your mind, as I said. So the only thing you have to do is to be open to receive. And how you do that is you relax your body. So I'm inviting you to just sit in a way that, or lie down in a way that is comfortable for you, preferably head over heart, heart over pelvis, but however you can really relax and receive. And then just shift your attention into your heart space for a moment. And just know that we're making all the intention that whatever comes through is in the highest good of everyone here and everyone who's ever listening or will ever listen to this replay, to this activation. It's also on behalf of each other. And it's on behalf of all consciousness and all energy. And it's an invitation for everyone who wishes to receive it. Okay, and we're allowing only the highest light into this field. Yes, so from that intention, with your awareness in your heart, just taking a few breaths and relaxing, breathing in as if breathing in through your heart space, but still filling, your lungs, so as if your belly was expanding. So feel that expansion as you're breathing in. And allowing it to sink back in as you're breathing out. And just imagining the air was coming in through your heart space. Filling up your belly and then exiting through your heart space again. And trust that whatever you receive is in your highest good. And it makes absolutely no difference whether you're consciously aware of something or not. So you can fully relax and be in your heart and receive. Iako shorana inana kote arana shuktutureana siako kiana kato shuktarana na 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 na. And any and all beings that are not here for our highest and best good, we're commanding them to leave now, sending them back to source for that which is in the highest and best good of all. Calling back all of our pure power, our pure energy, our pure divine essence now. Ia shukututura nanakoea, ia kusera nakatutuea ranakoto, ia kusukutara nakutu shukutara nakoea, iskututututututu, shaya nakato ora nakata ers, uskara nakush, era nakatututu ya nakata. Si, aku, aranakanakatakish, kutukutukutis, yanakata, shukututu, yanakata, yanakatete, yanakata, yanasu, akata, yakatututu, shakatara, na. Oh, dear beings of love and light. Relax your mind. We so understand that it can be a bit upsetting. A bit lot going on, sometimes even confusing. Yet if you can relax your minds and really drop into your body, into your heart, into your being, into the earth, you can release that all with grace and ease. Imagine a beautiful wave of pure crystalline ocean light flushing over you in the most benevolent, gentle ways, yet powerfully cleaning out everything that's not aligned right now, sending it back to source now for that which is in the highest good of all. And letting in some joy into your heart, in your life. So how can you experience more joy? How can you experience more play? How can you experience more fun? And we wish you to know that it is not selfish to have fun and joy and play and love and laughter. No matter what's going on in the world, it does not make you a bad person. It does not make you selfish. On the contrary, we're not saying to not have compassion, yet you need to feel good. You cannot have compassion if you do feel stressed and overwhelmed. Because compassion is an act of pure love. It has nothing to do with co-suffering. And we're helping you release some of that co-suffering right now. Karana inana kushukututu yanakata I katatatsu yanakatutu shayana nanakututura chu siu siu chu 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 ayaka ayaya allowing for some more joy, some more play, some more happiness into your lives now, just with your intention. Iako kiara nanakoto, iako siara nanakoto, iako kiara nanakoto, ishukututu, shikututu, shikututu rayanakate, iako tutu rayanania nanasuto, iara nanako shakatata, ianakatuto ya, eskutu, 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 eskutu. And taking a deep breath in through your heart space, as if breathing through your heart in the middle of your chest, your energetic heart. Breathing out and just getting aware of your body right now. Whatever you feel and sense. It might be relaxation, it might be tingling, it might be anything. Just getting aware of it. Taking another deep breath in. And getting aware of the support underneath your body. Orienting yourself with your eyes closed in the room. Expressing our gratitude to all the beings of the highest light that have been here and supported this transmission and activation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and bless you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with one last deep breath, as if breathing through your heart. Allowing this love in, making it your set point, and whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Natasha. Yeah, it was very, very relaxing, very grounding, and bringing a sense of peace within. And as I said in the beginning, I really love your that language. It's really beautiful to listen to. And yeah, thank you so much. And everyone, I would love to hear your feedback about the activation. Joy, she wrote, "Wow, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful." Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.
And yeah, we have questions coming, and just I would like before that, if you can share with us about the program you are offering, and then we will move to the Q&A. So we have the first package, which is Focus, Flow, and Conscious Creation in Times of Great Change program. And then package B includes the program from package A plus 45 minutes one-on-one quantum leap ocean light language session with you. And I invite everyone to visit the page, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Natasha, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Natasha, Natasa. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page, and the link is also on YouTube video description. So Natasha, I would love if you can tell us more about this program.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So actually, almost everything we talked about is in this program. So the first item in package A is a masterclass in ocean light language healing transmission to transmute the fears of the unknown. And actually you get an option to really transmute whatever fear you have, whether that's the fear of being seen, of being criticized, the fear of the unknown in terms of, oh, what will happen? Do I have the money? Will it work out? Or what's going to happen with the world? Or even that fear of abandonment that I had. So in this masterclass, I'm just going through these fears and also tell you how they show up, because sometimes they are hidden. And then the most part is really a longer healing activation than you have experienced right now. And really allowing all of these to transmute back into love. And the beauty about this first item, it's a 60-minute masterclass, a video recording. You can do that whenever you feel guided to. You can do that again. So it's not something that you have only once, it's downloadable, and you can go through that and use it as a tool if you wish to. And that's with all the items that you're getting in package A. They're all downloadable. And the second item is an 18-minute audio activation, and that's what I was talking about when I was envisioning So I could be the frequency match with what I was calling in, how I wanted to feel. And it's always about how we want to feel, it's not about, okay, I wish maybe to have a beautiful car, but it's not about the car, it's about how I feel in the car. And so that's where we're diving in with this audio activation. It is bringing in your highest heart's desires. So I also connect you through your heart as a portal to heaven and earth and drop into our bodies, and we align with our highest heart's desires. And I lead you into that envisioning process that you can really feel it and have the gratitude for it and know it's done, just as I explained. And then there's another 20-minute meditation and activation. It's, when I told you about the time when we're in that transmission, in that transmutation period, right? When we're in that death and rebirth process, when we are in the midst of having taken the leap and now we have to go through the physical things, when the overwhelm wants to kick in and come in. So this is a ocean light language and meditation, both from stress and overwhelm to peace, calm, and flow, it's called. That really helps you let go of that stress, and you can really center back and have a more regulated nervous system, and just use that whenever you wish to calm down. And then we have a bonus, and that is a heart coherence meditation with light language infusion. There's a little bit of light language in it, but it's a heart coherence meditation because, the heart is our portal to our multidimensional experience, to living unconditional love in this world. It really is what creates everything in this new paradigm and where we're coming from. Not that we don't need anything else, but it's like, it's so beautiful and so important when we can listen to our hearts. And the other thing is that heart coherence has been shown in science that it not only strengthens our immune system, but it also helps us have more brain-heart coherence, so more clarity, all our systems align, and also our field starts influencing others. If we're in strong heart coherence, we can support the world around us just by being who we are. And so that is a heart coherence meditation with light language infusion for you. And it's with gratitude. Gratitude, the most powerful gift we can have, and the most easy to access when it is about what frequency you want to have. Because when we have gratitude, it means we've already received it. We're grateful for having it all. And that's where we're moving in. So that's what you'll receive in package A. And let me go to package B. Yes, package B is the whole package A plus a 45 minutes one-on-one quantum leap ocean light session with me. And sometimes like package A is amazing. It's going to be a great support. And sometimes we discover on that healing journey, just as I did, that fear of abandonment is really deep. And I have this history with my family or with friends, or I have this trauma, or I have this wounding, or I'm actually so much in that self-judgment that I can't even access my joy, or I'm a lot in self-doubt. I don't trust the whispers of my heart, or anything else where you feel like, I can't really, I need more. I would like some more support. Then package B is for you. And what we do is, I have a gift that I usually can hear quite quickly where beliefs are that are blocking somebody from, or maybe challenging is a nicer word to use because it's never just a block, sounds so heavy. So I like the word challenge. It's challenging us, and it's more difficult to receive then. And so we dive into the root, whether that's a wounding, a core, a belief. Yet it does not have to be hard. The way I do healing is, you don't need to go back into the story. You don't need to go back into experiencing all of that again. We're just as you had the light language activation now, that's how it can feel. And it goes to the root without having to, find out every detail and having to fix this and having to change that. because the light language is so divine and so powerful that it helps us transmute. And I'm also using other healing modalities if needed on the way, whatever is in your highest good. And we will just work on what you bring in, whatever you want. It can be related to taking the leap, or it can be something completely different, like I want to reactivate my spiritual gifts more fully, or step into my divine service more fully, whatever it is that you want to come in with. That's package B, getting package A plus the 45-minute session. Is that okay like that, or do you need more information?
Yeah, it's perfect. No, it's perfect. Thank you so much, Natasha. Very grateful to you, and yeah, I really love how you structured the program, because it touched on the different main aspects, like navigating the unknown and grounding when we feel overwhelmed and stressed, and also keep connecting with our desires to raise that energy high and high, so we can keep that passion and that desire as we are moving forward. And it can be very helpful when we make shifts, when we have experienced new beginnings or any transition in our life. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And also thank you for the one-on-one session for those who want to receive individual and custom support from you directly. So very grateful to you. And again, everyone, I recommend and invite you to sign up to one of these two packages. And again, the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Natasha, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Natasha. NATASA, NATASA. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page. The link also is on YouTube video description and the chat boxes. And can we start taking questions?
Sure.
So we have first one from Joy. I am curious about the communication with the dolphins and whales. Is the ocean the same energy?
Is the ocean the same energy? Well, the ocean is I can distinguish them, so it's not exactly the same energy as I'm perceiving it when I'm working. So sometimes the dolphins came actually in just in this transmission very quickly. They in the very end they came a little bit in. If you felt that was dolphin energy when the very end with the joy, and the communication with them happens for me. It's that the question, like, I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you asking how I perceive their communication when they're communicating with me? Can you maybe clarify that so I can really answer your question better? And as for the energy, it's not exactly the same energy as I'm perceiving it. I can distinguish between there's a whale or there's dolphins, or it's the ocean light, that transmission. That's different for me, but it's still very connected, because it's actually, it's like the ocean and her beings. They're just as connected as we are with everything. And so, yeah, it's the unfathomable. They're individualized presences, and yet they're one with the ocean and source and all that is. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, if she writes back, I will read her comment.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Natasha. And also thank you, Joy, for your question. Yvette, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, Mansaf. Thank you for taking the call. Hi. And so I love that transmission. It was beautiful, really.
Thank you.
Emotions went from like just this heart space to wanting to go ahead and cry. And that was so beautifully. I can't wait to listen to the replay. So thank you for that gift. Just wanted to go ahead and see if you can provide some assistance in removing any blocks that I have with regard to getting a job. So I haven't been working for about 2 months at this point. And surprisingly, I'm doing work daily, so I'm not coming from a fear space and not looking to just grab anything out of desperation. So, putting it out there to whatever is more ideally suited for me comes in. And so, if any assistance that you can provide for that, that would be great.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't hear you acoustically in one moment. So did I understand right that you're looking for a new job, but you don't want to take anything? So you don't want to take a job and decide from desperation, and you're putting it out to the universe to deliver the best that is in your highest good? And you're asking me whether there's any blocks that I can perceive for you getting a job?
Yeah, and providing any assistance on removing those blockages that are in the way from that happening.
So let me ask you, on a scale from 0 to 10, how worthy are you of getting the best job ever?
At this point, because I'm doing work daily, so that I'm not coming from that fear-based, and so I'm surprisingly not in a panic mode at this point, even though it's been 2 months. So I would say about 9 comes to mind if I think about it. Well, without thinking, that's the number that comes into mind. So I'm not getting into my headspace.
So what I'm perceiving is, I hear you completely, that you're moving through. I'm still perceiving a little bit of overwhelm there and a little bit of doubt. Like, you put it out to the universe, but it's like, do I really trust that it's going to deliver? Do I have the full faith and the knowing that I'm fully deserving and that the universe will take care of me and that I'm taken care of no matter what happens? And which is absolutely human, and we all have that. Okay.
Yes.
So my suggestion would be that you really use that, if that resonates with you, the package, and that you use that envisioning process, and that you apply it to you having that amazing job, and you see yourself having that job, and you feel yourself happy and satisfied, and just like it's so beautiful to connect with all these people around you, and you're receiving the money for it and the value and everything, and start with that, because that's how you can call it in. You need to be in the frequency, the match of that job, to know you're fully deserving, you're worthy, you have that value for that job. And also, let me ask you another thing. How clear are you about what kind of job you want? That will be my other question too. Maybe you want to journal about it. Maybe, how clear are you really of what do you want? You said you don't want to get anything, but you know what you want to get.
Yeah. So I envision what that looks like in terms of my peers and management, and our connection, being seen and valued, customers, and what that day to day looks like. So I do bring that into my vision of what that entails and what that feels like.
And you feel what that feels like in particular, and then you're grateful for it having already happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And then get clear about what you want.
Yes.
Okay, what kind of job
I already know what I don't want, which is why, I'm
exactly.
not just
That's why I'm
anything.
asking you what you want, because I felt you as telling me everything you don't want. So it's about take some time and tune in your heart. If you want to use it in the package, the heart coherence will help you greatly with that. And then after the heart coherence, tune into your heart, and then ask from your heart. Ask your heart, what is in my highest, and then let it guide you and listen. Even if the guidance is just go and get a glass of water, then go stand up and take a glass of water, and then it's like, it's not always linear, right? We need to learn to listen to this guidance. And ask for support, as I said. Try these. I suggest that.
Doing that. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Yvette. And thank you very much, Natasha.
Welcome. Oh, maybe just one more thing for Yvette. It's not that I do not want to help you, but I want to empower you, and it's more empowering if you find your own way. You know how to do it now, and I cannot do it for you. You need to do it. And I'm about empowering people. And so that's why I answered that you do these things. Maybe just to make that clear. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Natasha. And Melissa, she wrote, such beauty in the transmission. I could feel the dolphin joy. It was uplifting. Thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Melissa. And Tanya, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
No, sorry. Okay, camera is working. Thank you. That was really, really, really like I could feel it. It was very nice. My question is, because I'm very empathic, like to the extent that I think sometimes I'm connected to the like global things, whatever is going in my country, in the world, in kind of in my family members' hearts, and like sometimes I feel this joy in my heart, and it's so easy to like, you know, like just turn over any kind of bad thing during the day and just start smiling. And you know, they call me at work the one who smiles all the time. But
Beautiful.
like lately, I felt a lot of hurt, you know, and I find myself not smiling, which is very unusual for me. And how can I, like, I understand at home I can put music, I can dance, I can do something like, you know, as you said, even nap if I need to. But if I'm at work or I'm outside, how I can turn it over and kind of switch off this sadness. And I understand there is nothing wrong about sadness, but I can't share my joy, and I can't, because I understand if I heal myself, I heal the others, and I heal whoever I'm connected to. So how I can kind of turn it around during the daytime if I'm not at home, if I'm somewhere with other people, you know, what would you suggest, please?
Yes. How can you make your empathy actually your gift and not the challenge, right? And so the first thing that I would suggest is that before you go out of the house, you really connect with your body very, very strongly. So you will discover, if you do that, and I can share a little exercise for everybody because it's really helpful and beautiful, is that you just, you know, you close your eyes, you go within, and you put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, and you focus on your belly. And then you're breathing into that lower hand. And just feeling your belly expand, and just be aware of what muscles move actually when I'm breathing down there into my belly. And then when you're breathing out, feel how they sink back in. Maybe you can even feel your diaphragm. And then you just expand that. I'll do it a bit shorter now. You can do that longer, right? When you have really your awareness in your lower dantian, in your belly, behind your belly button, then you allow it to expand in your whole body. And you're fully present in your whole body. And when you're fully present in your whole body, from your heart and your belly, you expand your field beyond. Because many people think when we're empathic, we usually try and contract, and that's the contrary. We need to expand. We need to be here, you know, to expand your presence, but you stay in your body. And if you practice that at home every day, until it's really there, that you can use it when you're outside with other people, you will take on far, far less than you have taken on until now. It's all about presence. You know, when we highly empathic, we're not aware when we're taking it on. It just happens, and suddenly we're like, oh my God, I have like, you know, I had that, I know exactly what you're talking about. I lived in an apartment underneath was my grandmother in the other apartment. So we were very close physically in two apartments for a while. And suddenly I would wake up at 3 a.m. every morning, 3 days in a row, and I didn't know what was going on. It was not in my experience earlier. And so when I saw my grandma next time, she told me, you know, I'm great, but I can't sleep at night. Every night I'm waking up at 3 a.m. And I'm like, okay. And so another thing you can do is you do this. I'm okay. That's not mine. I'm okay. That's not mine. I'm okay. That's not
Happy.
mine.
Okay.
And just give it back, or make it consciously go like, I release everything that's not mine. Just these two things, consciousness, energy work, and being in your body. If you can do these three things, you will see a difference over time. And if you wish, we can work more on that, but this can help you now a lot.
Yeah, because usually I ask asked my heart, like, is it mine or is it somebody else? And when I realize that it is somebody else, I think, okay, it's good. At least it is not mine. But yeah, I
Give it back.
understand what you mean.
Give it
Unfortunately,
back.
you know, in the morning, my like everything is so hectic that yeah, I would love to start morning with kind of meditation or mindful breathing, as you say. Not always happens, you know, because I have a 15-year-old and I have a dog, and I have to make sure everything, you know, while I'm at work, everything is kind of going on with life. So, but I understand what it means. Thank you, Natasha. Thanks a lot.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
thank you. Thank you, Montef.
Yeah.
Bless
Thank you, Tanya.
you.
Much love. Thank you so much, Natasha. And I have Joy. Thank you very much. May I ask for a message from my dolphin guide, Alma, if possible? Infinite gratitude and blessings.
Asking for a message from her dolphin guide, Alma.
Yeah. If you do, if you channel it. Okay.
Let me see. It's for Joy, right?
Yes. Yes.
He's showing me like he's almost, he's so funny. He's almost going like, he's almost on your head going like, well, why don't you ask me? Like, I'm here. I'm actually here. And he wants you to know that he's really there for you. And he or she, I don't go into that, you know, just the dolphin is really there for you. Alma is really there for you. And now when I say Alma, it wants to come in as a she, so I don't know how you resonate, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that she's telling you, I'm here for you. And I'm even more here for you than you realize. And literally like almost going on your head, going like, don't you see me? So well, let me see if there's anything else she wants to bring through. Oh, okay, so you're receiving more answers than you're aware of. And to not doubt the answers. I don't know if that makes sense, Joy, so you can please let us know in the chat. But it's like the message is, don't doubt when you ask for something or when you're connecting. Stop doubting and just trust what you're receiving, because I am here. Okay, just let me know if that resonates, and that's what I'm getting. Hope it makes sense. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Oh, look at this.
Beautiful. Thank you, Joy. And
Thank you, Joy.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not trusting 100%. Yeah. So trust. She's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Natasha. And
Welcome.
yeah, I love the name Alma. It's soul in Spanish. The meaning of it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Soul, Alma. Yeah.
And Kate, hi, I saw seals every day in San Francisco, and now I live in the interior. Can you tell me any messages from seals or how to connect with them?
Yes, you can connect with them through your heart always. Just drop into your heart and ask for them, like invite them lovingly and invite them to show you, and stay with your awareness in your heart and wait. And it might take you only once, it might take you a while, but if you stay consistent with that and you trust, they will show up. And you might, and also, yeah, what's coming in is also be aware whether you are just seeing pictures or images of seals, you know, somewhere. It might come in, and so that might be a sign for you that they're actually responding to you. And seals are they're very playful and very open-hearted, and inviting us usually to, it's not the play energy of the dolphins, it has a different energy, but it's also about playfulness and about curiosity very often. So maybe that's helpful too for you. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Natasha. And thank you, Kate, for your question. And the question from Melissa. Natasha, I would love some guidance on my next step in my healing work. Some feeling like imposter syndrome came up. I think I cleared that in your process. I am very connected to dolphins and whales. If they have a message for my service work, I would be so honored.
So if you feel connected to dolphins and whales, then do follow that joy, follow that connection, connect with them. Sit in meditation, open your heart and ask them to show you, ask them to come in, ask them to connect, and trust that even if you do not get, like, you don't hear a voice or you don't get a visual or anything like that, that you are guided. You will get inspiration, you would get downloads, anything that will help you move forward. And whales are very much here for heart opening. They're very much supportive when it comes to activating and opening our heart, releasing any and all judgment. And so if you're mentioning imposter syndrome, so releasing all of that judgment of self and others. So there's like all the self, you know, criticism and all of that. That's what the whales will help you also do. And so if that comes up in any way, shape or form for you, you can ask the whales to support you also in opening your heart and having more guidance on that part, and opening your heart to yourself, inviting you into self-love. Yes. And the message for your service work is literally to follow that guidance. If you feel connected, so follow that connection and follow your heart, drop into your heart and do that. And it's like, it's all there. Is there anything else for you? Let me see. I just like, they're showing me a path that lights up. So it's like, here's a light popping up, and then there's a light popping up, and it's not a straight path. It has its curves. And so just follow that light. It will lead you. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you, Natasha. And thank you, Melissa, for your question. And Kate wrote, yes, my friend in San Diego sent me pictures of seals without knowing. Thank you, playing with curiosity.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Kate. And yeah, Natasha, thank you so much for the time you spent with us, for the support you shared with our audience, and also the inspiration, your story, and also the wisdom you shared with us. It was really, really inspiring. So very grateful to you.
Thank you. So grateful. Thank you for having me. It was beautiful.
Yeah. And also everyone, thank you so much for joining us today live, co-creating with us this experience. And also thank you for those who will be either watching or listening to the replay. And again, I really invite you to sign up to one of the packages that Natasha is offering us. And the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Natasa, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Natasha, Natasa, Natasa with S. And also there is a link on the live events page, later on the replay page. And the link also is on YouTube video description. And we have two packages. The first one, package A, includes focus, flow, and conscious creation in times of great change program, and which include video and audio formats. And also package B includes the first package plus 45-minute one-on-one quantum leap ocean light session with Natasha. And yeah, so thank you again, everyone. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye-bye, everyone.